Sometimes the quiet between two people feels louder than words. You sit across from someone who says they love you, they laugh with you, share stories, make plans. But deep down, something feels missing. Not because they don't try, but because they're loving someone who isn't really there. Somewhere along the way, you learned how to perform, how to be likable, easygoing, strong, put together. You became what others needed and slowly forgot what you needed for yourself. Carl Jung called this the persona, the mask you wear to survive in a world that doesn't always welcome your truth. And it works until it doesn't. Because no matter how good the performance is, your heart knows the truth. It knows when the connection isn't real, when your laughter is practiced, when your "I'm okay" is a quiet cry for someone to finally see you. What if the most painful loneliness is not being alone, but being surrounded by people and still feeling invisible? You wonder silently, if I stopped being impressive, would anyone stay? That question can shatter you, but it can also save you. Because love, real love, doesn't ask you to be perfect. It doesn't need a polished version. It asks for your presence, not your performance. Maybe the first step toward intimacy is letting someone meet the version of you that's unfiltered and watching them choose to stay. There was a time when wearing the mask felt like protection. It helped you survive. It kept the peace. It made people like you. And maybe that was necessary once. But what begins as armor can quietly become a cage. Carl Jung warned us, the persona, our social mask, is only a tool. It's not who we are. Yet somewhere along the way, many of us forget that. We become the role. We say yes when we want to scream no. We smile when we feel unseen. We play the good one, the funny one, the strong one, until no one knows we're hurting. Even worse, we stop knowing ourselves. You look in the mirror and see a version of you that's acceptable, digestible, presentable, but where did the wild parts go? The messy, loud, honest parts? The parts that don't perform but simply exist? Could it be that you've built a life where everyone admires you but no one really meets you? The tragedy of the persona is that it promises love, but only if you keep the mask on. And so you become loved, praised, even celebrated, but never felt. Real intimacy doesn't begin with being perfect. It begins the moment you whisper, "This is me," even if it's not pretty. Because only when the mask cracks can someone touch the soul beneath it. You know the feeling. You're in a room with someone, their voice, their presence, their warmth, but somehow the space still echoes. Everything looks right, the dinners, the check-ins, the little kisses before sleep. But when you reach for something deeper, your hands close around air. It's like living in a house that's fully decorated, but missing all the furniture. Pretty from the outside, but nowhere soft to rest your heart. You tell yourself it's normal, that maybe you're just overthinking. But the truth is harder. You're lonely in a place where you're supposed to feel safe. And when someone says, "I love you," a quiet part of you whispers, "But do you even know me?" They love your mood in the morning, the way you handle stress, your calm, your charm, your glow. But do they know about the nights you cry in the shower, the questions that haunt you at 2 a.m., the version of you that isn't performing? Most people don't leave relationships because of drama. They leave because of silence, because their truth had no room to breathe. You don't need a perfect relationship. You need one where you can fall apart and still be met. Not with answers, not with fixes, just someone sitting beside you in the emptiness, without needing you to be anyone else. You didn't plan to show it. The exhaustion, the heaviness behind your eyes, that quiet ache that's been building for years. But one evening, maybe out of weariness, or maybe because your soul just couldn't hold it anymore, you let it slip. A pause, a tremble in your voice, a truth that escapes before you can take it back. "I don't think I'm okay." You wait for silence, or worse, discomfort. the urge to fix you, redirect you, shrink what you've just shared. But instead, they stay. Not to offer advice, not to tell you you're strong, they just sit, still, open, unafraid. And for the first time you realize how long you've been starving for this. Not attention, not affection, but space where you don't have to perform to be kept. This is what Jung meant. To shed the persona is not to become weak. It is to become real. Not raw for shock, not vulnerable as a tactic, but human without armor. And if they stay, if they truly stay, you'll feel it. Not like fireworks, but like a quiet breath, the kind you take when you're finally safe. Before we close, pause with me, just for a breath. Forget the theory, forget the quotes. Just ask yourself quietly, when was the last time I felt truly seen? Not complimented, not noticed, but seen in the spaces I usually hide. Most of us don't realize how long we've been performing. We get so good at being okay that even our sadness learns how to smile. We think love means being easy to love, being good, being useful, being strong. But what if real love begins the moment you stop being any of those things? What if the person who's been waiting for you all along is the one behind the mask? You don't have to answer now, you don't have to change everything. Just notice. The tension in your chest, the part of you that's still hoping someone will stay, even when you stop trying. Because that noticing, it's not small, it's where everything begins. You've been clapping for yourself for years. Good job, nice smile, well played. Another day being what they expect. Another night wondering why you feel so alone, even when someone's lying right next to you. They love the you who always has it together. They don't know the version who stares at the ceiling at 2 a.m., asking quietly, will anyone ever love the parts I hide? Carl Jung warned us, if you mistake your mask for your face, you'll spend your whole life being loved by people who don't know you and abandoned by the ones who could have. So here it is. The mirror. The breath. The chance to stop clapping and start listening. What would happen if you didn't impress them tonight? Didn't perform, didn't polish, didn't prove? Would they leave? Maybe, but the right ones? They won't even blink. They'll just lean in and say, finally, there you are. If this touched something raw in you, leave a dot, a mark, a signal to yourself that you're done with pretending. And if someone replies, same, maybe that's the first real connection you've had in a long, long time. Because love doesn't live in your best performance, it lives in your unedited silence.